Alright guys, welcome to another Code Films. This Code Film is not a freestyle, no, but this is our usual Code Films. And in this Code Film, we're going to look at dynamic app configuration, database isolation levels, and our use case is going to be social security numbers. We'll be using Java as the language. The database will be MySQL, sorry. And we'll look at some technical concept, ACID, um, isolation levels, and options not as in JavaScript options, but different ways of configuring your application. So this is our story. The story is that we have two people working at SNIT, also social security. So they're working at social security, be it the US or wherever. Ghana, that's not the issue. What's important is that they are working with social security, and social security provides numbers for um, the workforce, and that those numbers or um, those digits they give out is what we use to um, go ahead with pension payment and side pension payment to your pension. Also, if you also need money during your pension, yeah, your number is what we use, like a unique number that identifies a person. So if we mention this number or we call out this number, we know that this number refers to this individual. So someone's number is 6788 something with some alphanumeric or code that refers to someone, and this number refers to the other person. So now we have this situation whereby or probably let me say that I created this situation whereby um, two people can two users or um, two staff of social security have access to people's social security numbers, and that's possible because it's a system that generates those numbers and it's in their database or some portal somewhere. And we want to insinuate that a staff working in social security can, in other words, change someone's identity to match somebody's own. Let's just say that we want to do some more practices, because I still struggle to find a perfect use case for this, but I know that it has something to do with isolation levels and databases. And so we have two people who are concurrently accessing a portal. One person is generating or has access to the SNIT numbers or social security numbers, and another person to sitting somewhere because it's a web application or it's a database, and even if you can access it via a URL, any other means, local host, whatever ways you decide to make it available to us, or how you host it down is a whole different thing. Whether which server, or that's a whole different thing. But because of that possibility, there could be a chance whereby, because of the isolation levels you set in your database, one person can focus on a social security number and have some more practice with it, because it's pension. Once it's pension, you know that at the end of when you're in your 60th year, your pension year, you need money. So if you're smart in quotes, or you're a sly or a clever devil, you want to do some more practice to show that you can have some form of money, or people that have even passed away. Some pensioners have died. So what happens to their pension? So all these things you can do some more practice with it. But thanks to database isolation levels, we are just scratching the surface. You realize that you can actually prevent such an occurrence, such a thing from occurring, whereby user A or staff A is logged on to a social security number and performing some form of, not that for that he's not performing any more practice, but he's doing the right thing. But another user too has also logged on to the same database, and he's accessing the same data, and but he's also logged on to trying to manipulate or change the same social security number. You realize that because of database isolation levels, you can prevent such a thing from happening. We have several database isolation levels, but this CodeFilm will walk through each of them gradually. So as our objective said, it's about, first of all, dynamic app configuration. And the reason why we want to make this isolation level settings dynamic is because we wouldn't want our code to be tied tightly to the database. I'll explain that one too. So we'll perform some few CRUD operations, that's create, read, update, delete. But here we'll look more into reading and create, read, and we'll try some updates as well. So there are several ways we can make this app that we are creating dynamic. So as I said earlier, that is dynamic app configuration for our isolation levels. So from the research I did, I realized that there are three ways I could do this. There's an inline execution, where inline execution means you're actually inside the application, inside the code, and you're actually, for each isolation level, you actually come and code it inside, which I think is, so far to me, not the best, because it's tightly coupled, and for each configuration change the app must be visited. You always have to enter the source code. If you have a little bit of software engineering and you've done a little work of programming, you realize that this doesn't really sit to us. Like having a variable, and you decide that instead of using a variable to store a value, you always print out the value just as you type this. So if it's I think this one, let me see if, let me start something. Okay, let's use Node for this small example. Let me run with Node. So I want to explain the concept again. This Node. Oh, how do I start my Node version? And we'll go with something like we want to access the REPL. So npm. Okay, let me use this like a small directory, make directory, or dir, make directory test or options, cd options. Alright, so there's nothing. So let's initialize here with, let's run npm event here. Shout out, I'll be able to access Node. It's a long time I visited Node, but let's warm ourselves up a little. Yeah, we have to install the packages first. Okay, oh yeah, so we're doing that. So package, we'll name it options app, same version, just, and you will say options check or display, no, not display, just make options entry point to be index.js. No, that's command. Code PLC. So we have a package.json. Right, then we also have to run our REPL. How to run REPL, because I think I'm going too far. Okay, let me also create my index.js. Okay, access the REPL. Oh yeah, so I didn't even have to do that. So Node. Sorry for all that, but it's don't worry. So this is using the REPL just by entering Node. Yeah, but probably you can still go ahead with the ingest.js, but don't worry. So what I was trying to say with inline execution, probably if I'm to do 3 plus, if I'm do 3 plus 2, see, oh wow, 3 plus 4, the answer just shows just by typing it out. But if I'm to save it in a variable and do 3 is equal to 3, and I come back and do is equal to 4, and do a plus b, whereas this time around I'm not, it's more dynamic. Every time I call A, I know the value that is in A. Every time I call B, I know the value that is in B. So our code is dynamic. So that's what I'm saying with the inline execution. It's tightly coupled and for each configuration change, you have the app or the code will have to be visited. I hope the concept is clear. Alright, but for or we probably let's go with another thing. Let's say var name or var options is equal to, let's see something in some more, or transaction level. So anytime we call options produce what transaction level. That's very neat. But if we just type transaction level, it just spits out transaction level. If you want to spit out transaction level, so let's do that rather. Let's console.log options. You see, we always produce transaction level, but if you do console.log, we always have to type what we want. It's not dynamic because for each time, anytime we want to use this, we always have to come and visit console log and call out and type what we have to do here, which is not the best. But with you just using options, you can easily set it to a new transaction level. So you can say a different, maybe tx, set it to tx ISO levels. So console log options again, so that options has changed. It's not TX ISO level. So that's the reason why we say that each time we have to visit the app and perform change in the source code as compared to using any other option. So that was just by the way. It seems I forgot my node for a while, so I couldn't really straightly remember how to access the REPL, but hey, it's okay, don't worry. Yeah, so the other option, so that's for inline execution. Now we have file, which is to use a file to cause to have this separation of consent. And to me, I think the file is one of the best because with file, you read a statement from a file, it's going to be more dynamic and gives you a better form of separation of consent. So your file sits somewhere on your project or in your project folder, and then your code always reads from the file. So if you make any changes, you make the changes in the file. There's no way you're accessing the source code. The file is sitting somewhere and you are just relying on it for some information. We're going to code everything. Nothing here is going to be theory. After this, I'm going to code it so that we all have a better understanding. And then the most advanced one is script using the Perl language. That's way advanced, and that's runtime environmental system. So as we said, we are setting our isolation levels for our database. So if we have a number of databases and we want to perform a one-time, like something like a bomb, or drop a one-time Hiroshima bomb to cause all those databases to be configured to a certain isolation level for all staff, or n number of clusters, or n number of uh, companies, or n number of customers, or n number of bid, whatever that the business case says, or the business requirement says. And to that extent, you may want to use a script, because once you run the script, you know that the script is going to target this runtime environment or system. You can use Perl for that. So a script is more advanced It's a script that runs. So we all start the script, and the script does the configuration for us, as compared to using a file, which um, is still as compared to using a file, because the file is a little bit um, it's dynamic, alright, but looking at our use case, you may want something that does it on its own runtime. So you may want to use a script to do that work. I hope the explanation is a little bit clear, but if not, feel free to always comment. So I I improve my technical explanation. The feedback is healthy. There's nothing wrong. So this is just a storyline. So we have some procedures we're going to go through, and we also have the inline execution where we write some code, and we have the file where we're going to write some code. I didn't cover the script here because up to now I still don't know how I'm going to write a script for such a thing, or such a number of environments using the Perl language, unless probably I dig my hands into it. But I know it's possible. That's why I listed it here. So that would that would be my assignment on how to make that work. Yeah. So please, that's just the storyline for this. This is just the storyline. As we said, this is dynamic app configuration, database isolation level, social security numbers. So stay tuned. Don't run away anywhere. Then going to start writing some code for inline execution and the file. You'll learn a lot of SQL over here. So just stay tuned. Thanks for your time. And please don't forget to like my video and also subscribe. And if you know someone that's still struggling with database isolation level, please do share the video to us well. Thank you.